Well, hey, Peace Nation. Guess who's back? Yes, it is me, Karen Denise. Can you believe it? It is July 22nd. And this is my third upload today. I don't know. I'm sitting in the house, minding my business, scrolling through YouTube, and just things keep happening, popping up on my timeline that interest me. So I figured I would talk about them. So, yeah, later I'm going to probably actually do another video about IAG Farms. Watch the newest one and see what's going on there. But anyway, so I was watching this guy and he was talking about Tulsa, Oklahoma. And it's not just Tulsa, Oklahoma, but this is what his video was about this apartment complex that 40 to 60 people got a 60-day eviction notice. Yeah, that's sad. And the one young lady who the article was about said she had a child that was 3 years old, and she works and her child does therapy, school, all those things, and she really can't afford a rent increase. So why is there a rent increase on her apartment? I'm going to tell you this story, and then I'll tell you about the apartment complex that I just left in Trenton, New Jersey. Basically, the reason that the landlord has decided to evict most of his tenants is because HUD does not want to pay his rent increase. Yeah, people. HUD doesn't have to pay a rent hike if they don't want to. They said they don't have it in their budget. Well, that's what they say. They don't have the money, so they're not going to pay the increase. And because HUD is refusing to not only pay the increase, but pay the rent because of the increase, did you get that? They're not just refusing to pay the increase. They're not even negotiating with the owner to just pay what their portion was before and leave the other portion on the tenants of the hike. Okay. 40 to 60 people are refusing, well, are being asked to leave if the increase is not paid. I said the same thing the gentleman who I was watching his channel said. If they increase the rent $150 to $200 a month more, and HUD can't cover that cost, but they can cover the past costs. If the tenants can't afford to leave there, can't you at least afford to pay the rent hike? If it's only $150 to $200 a month. I know that sometimes that's a lot when a person has a child and they have everything structured already, and this young lady is working. Most of these people are working. They're just getting subsidized through HUD because of what the rent already was, and HUD is paying the difference. But HUD say they're not paying the increase. So then the question was, well, why is he increasing the rent? Then one of the tenants told why. This is a new owner. He bought the building, 6 months to a year ago? And immediately he started doing renovations. So he has brought the value of the building up. And he knows he can get a higher market value for these apartments. And this is what's happening all over the country, people. Nobody is going into business to lose money. It's always about making money. And if they're improving where you live, you can expect the rent to go up. Prime example, the building I just left in Trenton, New Jersey is an income-based building. But because of my income, I was already paying almost market value. I think I was like maybe $250 under what the market value was. And that's all that Section 8 paid for me because that was the way they supplemented it. Well, there's a lot of people that live in my building that have no income. And their rent is $25 a month because they can't let you live for free. You have to pay something. Now I'll tell you about my building. It was bought 2 years ago by a whole nother company, and immediately I said, this isn't going to be good for some of you. I met the owners. I met the regional manager that handles their properties across the state, and I knew immediately this rent is going up to market value. Now, market value for my apartment under the old owners was 1140, 1240 a month. With the new people and the improvements they plan to do, my one bedroom was going to go up to 1450 a month. Understand this, I'm already paying over $1,000 a month. So it really wouldn't have affected me but a couple $100 anyway. Okay. They're no longer doing HUD and Section 8 for the entire building. It's no longer going to be an income-based building. I tried to tell my fellow residents this, but nobody believed me. They sent out letters, it was in little fine print about the fact that Jersey only requires an owner to have 10% of his building based upon income and special housing. And that's what they was going to start doing. There's 146, 48 apartments in my building. That means that no more than 15 of the apartments in my building were going to be under this program. Now, this company that I was living under, the new company, also had a very beautiful building across town, 5 minutes away, for older people, 62 and up. I was upset because I've been to the building. It's beautiful. No children, all the apartments are one bedroom, all the amenities, a little cafe in it. I mean, just everything. Income base. 33% of your income was all you had to pay over there. Okay. So they offered some of the older people in my building to move over there. These were people on Social Security, disability, over 62. They said, we've got this beautiful building over here. Go take a look. We own it. We can just literally move you over. And guess what? They wasn't even going to make them get a company to move them. They were going to have their company move them over. So they was going to make it very easy. The people refused. I won't even bother to tell you why they refused, because why they refused, yeah, it wasn't good. Anyway, so I tried to tell the younger people in my building, you're living here rent free. You need to get a job. Y'all need to pay attention to the paperwork they're giving out. But nobody's paying attention, and now it has hit the fan. A lot of these people were told that once they start this renovation, because they are investing millions, I think it's over $20 million in this building to redo it, some of them will not be coming back. If you don't have a job, if you can't afford it, you won't be coming back, because they're only going to use 10% of their apartments for income base, and they're going to select those people. And the way they're going to select them is they're going to start with the elderly who do not want to move over, and anybody who does not have a criminal background from the time they lived in the building. Because when you get an apartment, they check for felonies, they do background checks. Okay. If you got into the building under the old people and everything checked out and you got into the building, they're fine with that. But if you committed any crimes within the last 5 years of you living in this building before these people bought it, they're using that against you, because they can go back up to 7 years. So a lot of those people are not going to come back for that reason. But I have to tell you about this building we lived in. These people do not want to get a job because they say, I don't want to pay rent to live here. Okay, these people put in a gym. They have a nice laundry room. They have a day room. They have a room where Amazon and FedEx comes and bring your packages, because we had an issue with people stealing packages. They built a whole section. They allotted it just to lockers for these people to go put your stuff in a locker and send you a text and give only you the code to that locker. And it changes every time they put something in it. It's not like a set locker. Like, they have to literally put a code on there, and you get and tell you what the code is, and you get your package out. They're really doing a lot of things. Like, they keep the grounds up. If you're not, other than the tenants throwing trash everywhere. Yeah, like, this is what's happening. These people are not buying these buildings to sit here and let you tear them up for a little money. They're trying to get a better, I don't even want to put it that way. They want people in their building that care about where they live. The building I lived in, people would say, oh, that rent is high. Well, let me tell you everything that's included in that rent. Your lights, your water, your gas, Wi-Fi, and free cable. This is what this building gives. These are all the amenities in this building. The gym is going to be free to use. The day room where you could have, like if you want to have a gathering and it's too big for your apartment, all you have to do is put your name on the list and you just clean up afterwards. All of that stuff is included. Nice playground for the children. All of that. And these people don't want to make changes and get off their behinds and get jobs. Now, I did have about 3 or 4 young girls come to me and say, Miss Karen, yes, that's my first name, Miss Karen, I got a job. And they were so, and they were like, oh my God, I should have been got a job. I love having a job. Yeah, because it makes you feel better about yourself when you're taking care of you instead of somebody else. So I know those young ladies are going to be fine. And I just hope that people pay attention. This is happening not just in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's happening all over the country. No company is in business to give away their stuff. Everybody gets into business to make money. This is YouTube. You think we get this? If you have not hit the like button, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel. We're going to have conversations. Hit me up in the comments. Tell me what you think about what I'm talking about. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Tell me what you know is happening where you live. Yeah, let's be a community here. Hit that subscribe button. We're almost at the 1,000. We're just trying to get there. If you think I'm doing YouTube just because I like being on YouTube, I do like talking on YouTube. But eventually, I want to monetize this channel. I want to make money doing this. I work. That's for the person in my last video who had the nerve to leave me a comment and say, do you have a job? Yes, I do. That's why I could move across from Jersey to South Carolina and rent somebody else's house. Ain't nobody taking care of me but me. And I'm good with taking care of me. And understand this, I was used to being taken care of by men most of my life. And I'm glad God taught me I could do it myself. There is such a sense of fulfillment. Yes, we're tired. Yes, we be drained. Yes, there be some days you don't want to go there. But then you be glad you're there when you're there. You be glad when you see the paycheck. Yes. There's a sense of pride you have and dignity you have when you are taking care of yourself, when you're doing it. No, it's not easy. And I understand that sometimes the things that happen are not fair. But I will tell you this. The building I lived in, these people have been trying to do this for the last year and a half. Actually, the end of this year is when they're going to start the renovations. So they have given notice to these people for almost 2 years about what's about to happen. So, like now, Tulsa, they only gave them a 60-day notice. They didn't renew their leases. That is all these people had to do. If you're at a complex and they don't renew your lease, you need to question that. Because now legally, they could give them a 60-day notice because they're living off no lease. You either pay the increase or you have 60 days. And it's sad because this young lady, I mean, she's working. She has a child. She's trying. And she has no other help. That's sad because some of us would say, where's the father? But we're going to leave him out the equation because this is about what's happening across the country, even when the fathers are involved. Even when there's a two-parent household. A lot of companies are doing this. When your building, your complex gets taken over by another company, expect this. Because the new company did not buy the building just to take what the old company was taking. If they come in and start making any repairs, like upgrading the building, oh yeah, it's coming. Yeah, but that's what's going on around the nation, people. And we can feel bad for the people. Some of them. I feel bad for some of them, the ones who really can afford it. But the ones who are doing nothing to afford it, I don't feel bad for them. I said the same thing about Section 8 and EBT. If you're sitting home and doing absolutely nothing and expecting the government, who is now refusing to do certain things to take care of you, there's a problem. And these companies are raising the value of their property, the cost to live in their properties all over the country. My company that I had fortunately gave out things most companies don't give. Like there was no other place that I could find in New Jersey, in Trenton, that gave you free water, free lights, free gas, and free Wi-Fi and cable. First of all, you couldn't get free lights at these places, let alone the rest of this stuff. Now, the people that live in my building have an opportunity to find jobs, get themselves used to paying and everything, and still have all these free amenities. Now you're going to be have to go somewhere else because even most of the income-based apartments in Trenton are not even free electric and water. Like their rent is like the same as what I was paying. Or if you have no job, it's still $25 a month. But now you got to come up with lights, you got to come up with water, you got to come up with a gas bill. So while they're in a position where they're in, I try to tell my people, y'all need to make changes because even if you're paying rent, you're still getting all this stuff for free. We have a parking garage. We have closed-in child playground, huge, that they keep making sure it's nice. You don't even have to go outside and take your trash. My building had a trash chute that you just put your trash in. Laundry room downstairs. So they need to get it together or they're going to be out on the street, unfortunately. But for the people that, you know, are really having it hard and trying, yeah, I feel bad for them. I really do. And they're just going to have to find some place. If they're not willing to pay the difference, they're going to have to find some place else to live. But they're going to have to hope that place is willing to take their Section 8 voucher because now there's 40 to 60 of them going to be out trying to find these places. And those apartments are gone. Those houses are gone. So to me, and I know I can just sit here and say that, but to me, like, buckle up a little more and stay where you're at and pay that extra $150 a month, $200 a month, because they can only go up so much from what the market, what they was charging HUD for the market, they can only go up so much beyond that. It's just that HUD is refusing to pay the increase. And because they're refusing to pay the increase, the owner has said, well, then the tenant has to go because I need all of my money. So I would talk to the owner. I'd be like, look, I don't care if I've got to try to get a couple extra hours at work. I'm going to figure this out and I want to stay. That's what I would do. You know? But that's just my opinion. It is Karen Denise. If you are new to the channel, please welcome to the family. Over here we love peace and we like to talk about some of everything. As you can see, I have opinions on a lot of things. Yeah, see, a lot of y'all was used to me talking about IAG farms or showing you my garden. I got opinions about everything. And since, I'm so fed up for the most part with IAG farms, like how much more we're gonna say? I figured let's talk about some other things. Yeah. Let's talk about what's happening really in the world that affects all of us, or at least not you and me personally, someone we know and someone we're close to. But once again, I love all of you. If you didn't wipe your feet by hitting the thumbs up on the way in, make sure you wipe your feet by hitting the thumbs up on your way back. Share this video, subscribe to the channel, and welcome to Peace Nation. You know my motto, let no one take you out of your peaceful place. Love you.